I just knew that I would be so excited for this moment exactly where we start this day. We've been planning this for so long, and this is moving. So I just want to start by saying thank you. We are lucky to live in the greatest convergence of transportation and technology in history. All of our ideas and visions and sketches before are now becoming the reality, the now. Last year, we were talking about a glimpse into the future of mobility. But this year, we're reshaping the transportation landscape. Because this year, we're in the ing. We're in the doing, we're in the making, and we hope to be in the implementing as well. This is a big goal of ours. Over the past few years, we've watched the community grow tremendously, and the startups and the technology exponentially. Today, we have over 600 startups and 7,000 community members, and that is, yes, you can applaud that. You can completely applaud that. We've started in 2012. Seeing here, Boaz, I think meetups were about 15 people. I was one of the first female entrepreneurs in the community. And to see what it has become today, 2,500 people are going to be here today. When reshaping the transportation landscape, we should keep in mind that mobility is a basic right for all. The urban residents, the ones that walk in the streets, the rural areas, the commuters, and we should always keep in mind accessibility. We need to remember that now, in 2018, the humans each have their own personality and their own habits, and mobility should be customized and personalized like everything else that we're experiencing nowadays. So from the streets to the highways, from the parking spots to the skylines, we each have a part in bringing innovation from presentations to reality. Our powerful and unique community is the driver for change towards the world we want to live in. I would like to welcome you to the sixth main event and invite you to explore this community to the fullest, where Israeli innovation integrates with global endeavors. So this community that I'm talking about this whole time, this is you. Every one of you. If you look to the right and to the left, every one of you is one part of this big whole. And this is your day. Give it your best. If you're an exhibitor, if you're a speaker, if you're doing demos outside, which is part of the doing that I'm talking about, because technologies are not on the screen anymore. They're here in actual life, and you can see them and feel them. We just created this platform. You are the content, and it's yours for the whole day. I want to say a big thank you to all the partners that made this possible and that engaged throughout these past months. Everyone believed in this vision when it was still just doodling on a piece of paper how it would look like. I didn't have anything but a vision and to know that this community is growing and that we need to do an amazing platform for all of you. To my team and the production team, I must say that the day that the ninjas met the gorillas, we understood that nothing is impossible anymore. I don't know if you know, but this whole thing is a synergy of public areas, private areas, and Tel Aviv municipality was helping in this, and the port, and everyone was so engaged and it was moving. So just to finalize, I wish you all a tremendous success and the relentless courage to keep growing and moving forward as rapidly as transportation. Thank you. I would like to welcome to the stage for opening words, Mr. Eli Groner, Director General of the Prime Minister's Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Orlie. I have no doubt why 2,500 people from 32 countries came here today to hear a number of speakers, right? That's no question. But hopefully we'll get through this part very quickly and you'll get to see the real reason why you came here, the dynamic new industry that's unfolding before our eyes. I have to disagree slightly with Orlie. First of all, I want to thank you for everything you did in putting together this event. I don't see you. But as far as the 2,500 participants, this is not your day. This is your year, this is your decade, this is your century, this is your future. Because when you look to the right and look to the left, I don't want you to see participants in a one-day exercise. I want you to see the new automobile industry of the future. And it doesn't resemble the automobile industry of the past. This is the way transportation will look in the future. What you see outside at the exhibitions, what you see in the demos, this is the way transportation will look. The time will come when people in this room's children and grandchildren will say how crazy it was that people bought this incredibly expensive, highly taxed status symbol, which sat parked in a driveway for 95% of the time. The new status symbol is going to be who's got the nicest charger in the back seat. It's going to be a whole different world. And I'm here to tell you all, particularly the people representing 32 other countries here, that this new world plays to Israel's strengths. Because this new automobile industry is based on global forces of connectivity, generating big data, layered with artificial intelligence. And this is what's creating the new automobile industry. We have, in Israel, expertise in things that play to these strengths. We're very, very good at image processing. We're very, very good at developing sensors. These are things that are critical for the new automobile industry. It was not that long ago, I think it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Prime Minister Netanyahu and I were sitting over dinner with one of the leading automobile executives in the world, who was in Jerusalem. And Prime Minister Netanyahu asked him, what is the breakdown in the automobile industry today and in the future vis-a-vis hardware and software? And he said, well, the automobile industry historically has been 90% hardware, you know, the chassis and the metal, et cetera, and 10% software, right, the dashboard and other things. But in the future, and I'm thinking in my head already, in the future, he's probably going to say it's going to shift from 90-10 to 70-30 or 60-40, maybe even 50-50. He said in the future, that world is going to be 10-90. The automobile of the future is going to be a software vehicle. It's not going to be about hardware. And that's where all of you come in. And that's why this isn't your day, and it's not your year. This is your decade. This is the decade of disruption in this industry. And 20, 30, 40 years from now, people aren't going to recognize. People are going to forget about the way cars travel today, the way they did about the horse and buggy a mere century ago. I wish you all not only a productive day, but a productive year. I want you to take this industry and disrupt it as much as you can, as quickly as you can. This disruption can take 2 decades, it can take 1 decade, it can take 2, 3, 4 years. The commitment of the government is to do whatever it can to keep pace in terms of regulatory impacts. I think what you're seeing here is a real testament to the seriousness in which the government takes this new industry. You have representatives from the Ministry of the Economy. You have representatives from the Prime Minister's office. We are taking this seriously because we want to do everything we can to make sure that you guys, that you ladies and gentlemen, take the entire world into the 21st century of transportation. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you, Eli. And you're right. I believe that transportation is the next empire of Israel, like in the year 2000 communication was. Transportation now is our next big thing in this country. I would love to welcome Anat Bonshtien, Director of the Fuel Choice and Smart Mobility Initiative of the Prime Minister's Office.
Since I'm moderating the first panel, I have to be short because timekeeping here is quite strict. So a good friend of mine told me something very wise. He said that it's very easy to imagine the world with autonomous vehicles. The hard thing is to imagine how do we get to that world? How do we go on achieving it? Now, I'm a biochemist, and in thermodynamics, we have this term called state function. And the state function takes into consideration the current state of a system, of a situation, and the initial step. It doesn't take into consideration the whole way of achieving that. And achieving that is the transformation. And this is the real world. And in the real world, it's not just about thermodynamics. In the real world, you have to take into consideration transformation. We all agree, I assume, that we would like a world with no road accidents, no traffic jams, less pollutions. We want it, we can envision it, but how do we go about achieving it? That's the transformation. And in order to achieve transformation, we have to have innovation and policy. So regarding innovation, 6 years ago, when we launched EcoMotion, it was merely 200 entrepreneurs, academics, government officials on the beach. They were all wearing jeans, t-shirts, sandals, and holding at least one beer in their hand. That was the community. But that's how ideas became to be passed, knowledge to be transferred, innovation began, and we saw that this is starting to be a community, and the community grew, and actually the knowledge of this community crossed across deserts and seas and became global. Now, yesterday someone asked me someone from abroad asked me, how can we join this community? Well, if you are here, you are part of this community. You're already there. So we have a community, and we have innovation, and we have ideas. But remember, we talked about transformation. And in order to achieve that, we need implementation. And that's where the government comes in. So last year, the government initiated a national plan for smart mobility with 2 goals: to enhance the industry, on the one hand, but also to have local implementations of projects. And just now we're launching, together with EcoMotion, a new program to implement projects within municipalities, within local authorities, bringing those ideas, bringing in those innovations into real projects. There is a booth outside called Government Supporting Innovation, which actually most of the government representatives from most of the government ministries are there. I invite you to go visit that booth, because for you Israelis, what we were trying to do is seder in the balagan, which is make some kind of clarity within this whole mess of government support. Yes, the government is supporting, but how can you as an entrepreneurial industry benefit from it? So we created this workbook, this toolbox of all the supportive government tools. So go visit the booth. As for the international guests, please, I invite you as well, because it's very important for you to understand, just like the General Director said, that the government put an emphasis on this. And that's why we're supporting. We're supporting the startups, we're supporting the academy, we're supporting the industry, but we're also supporting the international collaboration quite strongly. So I invite you to go visit the booth. And You can identify the people from my team wearing these shirts. I'll be wearing it later on as well. The dress is just for the formal opening. But they're all there. They're going to be here all day round to answer your question, to be there for you along with our other partners. I want to finish off by thanking EcoMotion going back to day one. And if you're here, I would like you to stand up. So Boaz, Eyal Rosner, if he's here, Leonid Beckman, Meir, who's chairing the EcoMotion event, Oded from the Ministry of Economy, Jonathan, who's now the head of the Innovation Institute, Orlie, which is actually the one coordinating all this. Who did I forget? Moore, who is abroad, and Neta, and there are so many people that are part of this thing who actually made the transformation from 200 entrepreneurs sitting on the beach with beer to what this is. Thank you all.
Next up, this gentleman here, Meir Arnon, the chairman of the 6th EcoMotion main event and founding partner, Motion Partner.
Thank you. So here are my notes, and I erased everything because everything was said. So I'll start with Ronald Reagan quote, "The most terrifying words in English is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you." Well, in this particular situation, I would revert that a bit, and I would say that thanks to the government of Israel, which I personally have a lot of debate with it on many fronts, the Israeli government for many years, and certainly these years, is supporting strongly the innovation community, startup nation, and in recent years, very much the automotive space and mobility. So I want to thank very much the government of Israel to enable us to do many things, including this event. There are 2 points that I wanted to share with you very quickly. One, as you know, we are in a small country, surrounded by enemies in the east and fish in the west. And so we all live in a small country, have big dreams. All the entrepreneurs are in the room and in the event. We all have big dreams. The industry globally that was away from us many years and is now closer to us can help us make this dream happen. And I want to thank all my friends, all the overseas participants here, about 500 people from the global tier ones and OEs to have come all the way over here. Have a great day. Thank you very much for coming, and enjoy the day, the week, and the year ahead. Thank you very much.